Piers Morgan isn't someone you'd normally expect to sympathize with the Palestinian side. He spent much of the time after October 7th defending Israel on air, repeatedly. That's what makes this exchange notable. Watching him clash with Jonathan Conricus, a former IDF spokesman, who tells him his country is becoming a global pariah. It's worth paying attention to because when it comes to Trump, and especially Israel, Morgan usually lands on that side of things, but here we see a different side of him. As always, the clip will play in full first, and commentary and reactions will follow afterward.
Think that we're going to be greeted as liberators, and we're never greeted as liberators. We're greeted as invaders and occupiers. If there's one thing that this war has done in a very short period of time, it has united Iranians inside the country against the United States, Israel, and the Gulf countries.
No, it hasn't.
The Iranians have to do to win this.
You don't know that, and it hasn't.
That's it. That's all they have to do to win.
You don't know that, and it hasn't. And you can look at the amount of executions by the Iranian regime, including yesterday and the day before yesterday, public hangings. You can see how united they are.
US sources.
The only thing that they are united against is against the horrible regime that oppresses them. And the fact that you are doing their work and strengthening the propaganda.
So, Jonathan, if that's the case, Jonathan, hang on. Jonathan, if that's the case, why is it that Israel has never been more unpopular, particularly in America, where 2/3 of Americans now have a negative view of Israel? 50% of Americans nearly want Netanyahu arrested on American soil. So you can talk about the Iranians and how everyone's united against them and so on. Actually, what is happening, and I say this as somebody who likes Israel, likes Israelis, hates to see this happening, but your country is becoming increasingly a global pariah because of the actions of its government, that government is being driven by absolute psychopaths like Ben Gvir and Smodrich. And the more those guys do, and the appalling scenes we're seeing on the West Bank, for example, appalling scenes, right, which you should be the first to condemn. And I've always felt you try and be fair-minded when it's deserved the criticism. So here's your chance to be fair-minded. Are you happy with what's happening in the West Bank?
Let's first address what you said first about, the Israel standing in the world, which brings me great sadness. As someone who has been in media for a while, not as long as you and maybe some of the other panelists, but I can smell an influence operation a mile away. And what I give credit to is our enemies, the Palestinian Authority, and a few others, Qatar, lots of Qatari money, Russians, and Iran, for a very successful information campaign against Israel. They have been more successful information-wise than what we have been on the battlefield. And we have taken out Hezbollah, we've taken out Hamas, we have dealt significant blows to the Iranian regime. We have, I didn't interrupt you. We have taken out significant parts of our enemies on the ground. But unfortunately, what the Jewish country, what the Jewish state faces is unprecedented, unequal. It is unique in the world. The amount of attention, scrutiny, and double standards that are faced against Israel.
You put it. Yeah, but Jonathan, what Israel, the Jewish state as you call it, what Israel, through its action, through its government's actions, and I say that very precisely, through this current government's actions, it is that's made Israel an increasing pariah.
No,
not
it
the way
isn't,
the media
no, it isn't.
I don't get told, well, how is somebody like me, for example, who for many months after October the 7th ran into all sorts of abuse from the pro-Palestinian side because I defended Israel's right to defend itself, but I kept asking as I did that, what is a proportionate response? And you lost me when the response reached nearly 80,000 deaths in Gaza. Then we saw the attacks on southern Lebanon, on Iran, on this and that. You're in perpetual state of warfare, and the rest of the world's watching this going, you keep saying you're the victims here, but you keep attacking places and killing endless civilians. And you keep saying, well, we don't mean to. We're only after the bad guys. But in the process of killing the bad guys, you are killing tens and tens of thousands of innocent people. And the rest of the world's watching this going, Piers. Enough. Now, Jonathan, that is not PR. No one's paying me to say this. It is what I'm seeing with my own eyes.
Okay, after that, give me a chance to respond to that, because you really laid out so many things that are, at least that have, 2 sentences to speak about it. I suggest that you read. I suggest that you read the Substack of a British former army officer called Andrew Fox. I know he's maybe been on the show once and been in touch with the show. He just wrote a piece about the whole genocide libel falling to pieces, and he took each and every one of the components of the lies against Israel, specifically regarding Gaza. I won't go into all of the details, but I suggest that you read it and that you inform yourself. And if you ask, how have you fallen? Because you have also been influenced by this massive media operation against Israel. It is a media operation that I think no other country has faced.
If you want me to be better informed, if you want me to be better hang on, Jonathan. Hang on, Scott. If you want me to be better informed, Jonathan, then let the international journalists into Gaza to do their job and find out for themselves. Let them do it. There's a reason Netanyahu doesn't want it to happen and is prohibiting journalists from going in there unless they're embedded with the IDF and are friendly, like Andrew Fox.
Lots of reporting
and there is no independent free reporting in Gaza.
Yes,
none.
There is.
Zero.
Yes,
nada.
There is.
You banned all international media.
Reuters.
Which journalists got in freely
Times,
without IDF
CNN,
embedment?
Washington Post and AFP all have correspondents on the ground reporting from Gaza. Yes, check their bylines.
Operating freely.
All of these are reporting from Gaza daily.
Freely.
They have been reporting since October 7. What you say is factually incorrect.
So there is no ban, just to be clear. Wow, hang on. You yourself, in previous interviews on this show, have admitted there is a ban on international media and it should be stopped.
I have said that there haven't been international correspondence.
Since October the 7th, they've all been there. Which one is it?
I'll tell you very clearly. CNN, New York Times, Washington Post, AP, and AFP, and Reuters all have staff on the ground, and they have been reporting. Gazan reporters who work for those agencies, and of course Al Jazeera as well. I forgot the Qatari.
So just to be clear,
machine. But what hasn't been allowed?
I thought that the narrative coming out of Gaza with Gazan journalists was they were all pro-Hamas. That's why 200 plus have been killed. And they're all pro-Hamas, therefore they're not actual journalists. Now your position is that the Gazan journalists are free, independent journalists and not Hamas. Is that your position? And secondly, there remains in place, as you know, Jonathan, a ban on all international media going into Gaza. Non-Gazan journalists from outside going in to do their job. So when you say to me, I should be better informed, I would love to be better informed. Let the journalists go in and do their job.
Let me inform you. You said about journalists. 267 journalists, according to international NGOs, have been reported killed, cited by various organizations that they were only journalists. Out of those, more than 125 have already been recognized by Hamas and the Islamic Jihad as their own fighters. Now, where's the reporting on that? Where's the outrage of media organizations, of people like you?
Where's the reporting on that?
Where is the reporting on that? It's in
Piers,
the same.
Piers.
Let the journalists in and they'll do the reporting.
Let me give you a little information. Right now,
about was there a genocide to Gaza, talking about the voluntary emigration of the entire population of the Gaza Strip. That's the genocide the guy's sitting here denying to your face. Voluntary immigration with a bayonet in the back. Women and children, so they can steal their land.
Genocide? Which genocide? The population is growing, for Christ's sake. The Gazan population
was there a genocide in Fallujah? Let's talk about a direct comparison here.
Don't all, guys, time out. Don't all talk at once. We can't hear you.
Honestly, defenders of the Israeli government like this are among the worst, trying to deny what's plainly visible, as if viewers can't see what's actually happening in Gaza. This is genocide, full stop. Plenty of experts and organizations have already labeled it that way, so watching Conricus try to gaslight people into distrusting their own eyes is infuriating. He knows what It is, but he'll keep pretending otherwise. Piers Morgan is a hard guy to pin down, which is exactly why it matters when he calls a government a global pariah on live television. The old trick of branding any criticism as anti-Semitic doesn't work anymore. People know what real anti-Semitism looks like now. Criticizing a government carrying out a genocide, one now apparently repeating itself in southern Lebanon, isn't bigotry. Rewind earlier in the clip, Conricus tried framing criticism of Israel as a foreign influence operation, until Morgan pointed out nobody pays him to say this. He's reacting to what he's actually seeing. You can't spin your way out of a death toll that high, and the same pattern is now showing up in Lebanon. Here's the real giveaway. Conricus denied there's a journalist ban, then got reminded he'd already admitted one. Exists in a past appearance on the same show. If your position requires contradicting your own past statements, you don't have one. You're just repeating talking points. It doesn't matter anymore though. The world has already seen what Israel has become. And there's a reason journalists aren't let in confident. Countries invite scrutiny. They don't block it. Good to see Morgan on the right side for once. Let me know your thoughts below, and I'll see you next time.